Have you seen that new movie produced by the Obamas? Is not something I ever thought I would say. Barack and Michelle Obama, of course, the 44th President and First Lady of the United States. She had her focus on diet and exercise, and he had his focus on, presidential stuff. Oh, and he liked wearing controversial tan suits, and that was important. Hey, I'm Dismoto. I talk movies and television. If you like movies and television, you're gonna love it on this channel. So I'd love it if you click subscribe and join this community and hang out with us in the comments. Let's talk about the Obamas. So apparently the Obamas were not ready for retirement after 8 years in the White House, and now they're producing movies. Their production company, named Higher Ground Productions, was launched in May of 2018 in a multi-year contract with Netflix, where they'll produce scripted and unscripted film and television projects. The focus of this production company is on telling the stories that embody the values the Obamas have championed throughout their lives. Michelle Obama recently said in an interview, "I have always believed in the power of storytelling to inspire us, make us think differently about the world around us, and to help us open our minds and hearts to others," giving us some insight into why they may have started this company and the type of content they'll be focused on. So that's a bit about how this company came to be. Let's take a look at the projects that they've completed up to this point. All right, so Higher Ground kicked things off in the documentary space, and they kicked things off with a bang in August of 2019 with their first and most successful documentary, American Factory. This documentary was about a Chinese company that opened an American factory in Dayton, Ohio, in a shuttered General Motors plant. This film premiered at the 2019 Sundance Film Festival and won the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. And in March of 2020, we got our second documentary from Higher Ground, titled Crip Camp. And this is another documentary, this time taking place in the 70s, down the road from Woodstock, where a revolution blossomed in a ramshackled summer camp for disabled teenagers. At this camp, they transformed their lives and ignited a landmark movement. This one premiered at the 2020 Sundance Film Festival, where it won the Audience Award and later released on Netflix to high acclaim from critics. While this one didn't win, this one was also nominated for Best Documentary Feature. And finally, in the documentary department, in May of 2020, came Michelle Obama's documentary, of course titled Becoming, and covers the life of the former First Lady. And that one was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Documentary. Okay, moving into feature films. In June of 2021, we get the release of Fatherhood starring Kevin Hart. And this film is based on a true story about a widowed new dad who copes with doubts, fears, heartache, and parenthood as he sets out to raise his daughter on his own. All right, and coming up in actually 2 days from now is the next feature film from Higher Ground, titled Worth. This is starring Michael Keaton, Stanley Tucci, and Amy Ryan. It's a film also based on a true story about Kenneth Feinberg, a DC lawyer who battles against cynicism, bureaucracy, and politics in an effort to help the victims of 9/11. While the initial reviews on this one aren't great, I'm personally looking forward to it and intend to have a review up later this week. All right, so that's everything that Higher Ground has produced up to this point, and there are a lot of projects in the works moving forward. The first 4 projects I'll tell you about are all feature films, and the first one is one called Exit West. This movie will be based on Mohsin Hamid's critically acclaimed novel and will tell a story set against an epic global migration enabled by a supernatural phenomenon where 2 people seek a better life together, all the while yearning for a home to which they may never return. Another one in the works is a film called Tenzing, which is a feature film based on the true story of Tenzing Norgay, the man who first reached the summit of Mount Everest, which he did so along with Sir Edmund Hillary. This is the story of an unsung hero and the unique bond he formed with another outsider that enabled them to make history together. The next 2 that I have to cover, I can find very little information on. The first one is titled Satellite, which all I can tell you is an upcoming science fiction feature film. Sorry, I can't find anything else on it. And then the next one I can tell you a little bit more about, but only a little. And it's titled The Young Wife. In this film, we'll follow a young character named Celestina, a 29-year-old woman, on the day of her first wedding. Or not a wedding, but a party. A party where there's movement, and Celestina is out of sync. The guests flood in, and a storm approaches. Again, that's all I can find on it, but that description is pretty enticing. Okay, and Higher Ground is also currently producing 2 Netflix series. The first one is called Firekeeper's Daughter, and this one's based on Angeline Boulley's New York Times best-selling book, where an 18-year-old native girl reluctantly goes undercover in a police investigation into her reservation. And finally, this production company is producing a nature series called Great National Parks, which I'm sure you can guess is a natural history series highlighting some of the most epic natural parks and wild places around the world. Higher Ground is going to team up with Blue Planet 2's James Honeyborn for this project. And that's all we know about Higher Ground Productions up to this point. I'm personally less interested in these book adaptations and feature films, as those haven't been super fantastic up to this point. However, Higher Ground has a pretty awesome track record with documentaries, so I'm definitely looking forward to more of that out of them. All right, that'll do it for this one. Which of these upcoming projects out of Higher Grounds are you looking forward to? Probably gonna be that satellite science fiction film, am I right? But The Young Wife also sounds pretty interesting. Thank you all for being here with me today. We'll catch you in the next one.